read your story that really come on my heart, and then I want to give you 5 little things which are very important that we need to understand. Okay, you want to read it with me? Oh, no, for time's sake, let me just read it, and then we can just move straight on. Verse 22. And straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into the ship and to go before him unto the other side while he sent the multitude away. Say after me, Jesus sent them.
Jesus sent them.
He constrained them. In other words, he said, no, don't play with me. You must go. He constrained them. They were under a commission to go. Amen?
Amen.
And when he had sent the multitude away, he went up into the mountain apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. Tossed with waves. Whoever says that when you're in the will of God, there are no storms in life, is lying to you. They're lying to you. Here, the disciples were sent by Christ to go over this lake. And in the midst of the lake, there came a problem. I can assure the disciples said, did we miss the will of God? Are we meant to be here? Yes, they were meant to be there. They were under specific instruction given by Jesus to go. Say amen.
Amen.
And all of a sudden, while they're there in this boat, the wind started to blow and the waves started to hit the boat. And they're in a very precarious situation. Who in life has ever been in a situation like that? Where you think you're in the will of God and all hell breaks loose on your life. And you're wondering, what on earth? I can't be in God's will. Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. They were in the will of God. And now they found themselves in this horrendous situation about to sink. But look what it carries on and says. In the 4th watch of the night, Jesus went unto them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, it is a spirit. And they cried out for fear. Say after me, when trouble hits, we often see things wrong. I mean, Jesus is coming to them now, and they think it's a ghost. And the Bible says they're hiding for fear in the boat. The disciples were in fear. It's bad enough to have the waves and the natural circumstances of life coming against you, and now you think it's a ghost haunting you. I think the grim reapers come to get me. I'm about to drown. Verse 27. But straightway Jesus spoke unto them, saying, be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me to come unto thee on the water. I like that. Because this shows the character of Peter. Okay? Now, I've preached on this before, so I'm not going to emphasize this, but I need to point this out. They're all in fear on the boat. They think they've seen a ghost, and the winds and waves are coming against them. Then they hear the words somewhere deep down inside, amongst all the turmoil of life, they hear the words, be of good cheer, it is I, Jesus is with you. So what Peter said next is very important. Very important. Because when you're in a tough time in life, when circumstances are coming against you, and you think you're about to drown, you even think there's ghosts haunting you. If you can listen carefully and hear a still small voice that Jesus is with you, be of good cheer. You need to be like Peter. What did Peter say? He said, Lord, if that's you, tell me to come. Now that's interesting. Because what could Jesus say? It's not me. Stay in the boat. It's not me. What could Jesus say? No. It's not me. It's somebody else. You see, do you see the attitude of faith that Peter had in the midst of the storm? When you're in a difficult time in life and things are coming against you and you feel the pressure of circumstances and you hear a still small voice in the midst of the storm, saying that Jesus is with you. You need to be like Peter saying, Lord, if this is you in the midst of this storm, bid me to come. Because Jesus will never say it's not him. Have you ever put someone in a situation before where they have to tell you to come forward? Peter put Jesus in a situation. Peter put Jesus in a situation that forced a miracle to take place. If Peter hadn't said that, then Jesus would have most probably come in the boat and took them to safety. Say amen.
Amen.
But what Peter said there, by having the audacity to say, if that's you, bid me to come. Because he had the audacity to say that, what Peter said produced a miracle for Peter.
Amen.
Peter, apart from Jesus, is the only living being that's ever walked on water. Now, I want to tell you, if you want to be a walking Christian, to walk above every storm of life, and amidst all the mess, you've got to have the audacity of Peter. To say, Lord, if this is you in the midst of this mess, I am not going to curl up in the corner like the rest of the disciples and cry for fear. I'm going to say, Lord, I hear you in the midst of this, and now I'm going to march forward.
Amen.
Miracles come out of hard situations. Amen.
Amen.
Now get this. Jesus said, well, it's me. Well, you better come. Because you couldn't say it's not me, because it was him. So in other words, here's Peter. He's in the boat. Now just picture this. Storm's still blowing. All is rough. The other disciples think, oh, this is typical Peter. He's going cuckoo now. He's going to drown himself. What proof do we have that that's Jesus? What proof do we have? It looks like a ghost as far as I'm concerned. This has never happened before. This is what the other disciples are telling Peter. This has never happened before. Jesus has never walked on water. That's not in our tenets of faith. How can this be? How can this be Jesus? Where does it say in the Old Testament that Jesus is going to walk on water? I can imagine the other disciples are hiding there saying, oh, Peter's having one of his fits again. Peter's having one of his silly tantrums, going to get us all in trouble. He's going to kill himself in the process. But Peter, the audacity of Peter, in the midst of that mess, he got up in the midst, he pushed aside the negative Christians. He got to the edge of that boat and said, listen, I am not going to drown in a boat. This is God, or I just drown on my own. I'm not going to sit down and die. I felt like those lepers. You know the story of the lepers by the wall? They said, I am not going to sit here and die. I'm going to march to the end of it. That's what Peter, that's the audacity of Peter in the midst of this mess. He said, listen, I ain't going to sit in this boat. I'm going to go for it.
Yes.
Would you agree with me that took a lot of faith?
My God, yes.
It took a lot of faith. Say big faith.
Big faith.
Say big faith.
Big faith.
So he gets out of the boat.
My God.
And lo and behold, his big faith was secure. And he began to walk on the water. Let's read on a bit further. And when Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me to come unto the water. Come on thee. Come unto thee on the water. Peter actually said, listen, if this is you and you're with me, then a miracle is about to take place.
Hallelujah.
He actually said to Jesus, Jesus, if you're with me, then we're going to produce a miracle right now. Oh, the audacity, the strength, the boldness, the courage of Peter. Verse 29. And he said, come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. Only two people. I actually heard that one guy, one Christian fella, actually tried to walk on the bay. Yeah, did you hear about that? Honestly, Brian told me about it. There's this big minister, no, a big pastor in the Bay Area. By faith was going to walk on water. He announced he was on the TV and everything. And guess what? He went under quick. What a silly man. What a silly man. There you go. Anyway, Peter, he walks on the water. Say amen.
Amen.
Say in the midst of all my storms,
In the midst of all my storm,
I can walk on water.
I can walk on water.
Yes, you can. Now listen. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid and began to sink. He cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched out forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, If, O thou of little faith, where didst thou doubt? Isn't that weird?
My God.
Listen. He's walking on water.
My Lord.
He gets out of the boat. He leaves the other doubters in the boat. He stands up boldly on his own in the midst of a mess. He begins to walk on water. He puts Jesus into a corner and says, If it be you, tell me to come on the water. What boldness.
My God.
He gets out of the boat. He's walking on water and he begins to look at the boisterous winds and the waves and he begins to sink. So he cries out, Jesus, save me. Jesus reached out his hand, lifted him up from the water and said to him, O thou of little faith. O thou of little faith. Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked on water? What would you do if you were in that situation? Would you be curling in the boat with the other disciples? Hoping and praying? Would you say Peter had little faith or big faith? As far as I'm concerned, to get out of a boat in the midst of a storm is big faith. I want to see you get out of a boat in the midst of a storm and walk on water. And you say little faith? What's wrong with Jesus? Why is he saying little faith? Because that ain't little faith, that's big faith. Come on. How many of you have got faith today?
Amen.
Well, I'll take you down there. We'll get a boat. We'll go and we'll see you get out and walk on water. And you tell me if you've got big or little faith. If you even just get your toe out of the boat, then it's big faith. If you get your toe out of the boat and actually make a few steps, that's huge faith. Why did Jesus say little faith? Any ideas? Well, you're about to learn something here. Because, listen, Christians in America are full of big faith, but it's only little duration. Say little duration.
Little duration.
In church, we can all say hallelujah. And when the music's playing and the preacher's preaching, you can all get your miracles. Amen. You give your money, you jump in the boat, you do anything. But when you get out and the storms are hitting you, that faith you had on a Sunday kind of goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's always faith just to jump out of a boat, but is there enough faith to walk through life?
Come on.
You can shout hallelujah on Sunday, but is it hallelujah on Monday when you go to work and that old boss is still there?
Thank you.
And that work that you thought would go away over the weekend is still waiting for you on your desk on Monday.
Oh no.
Is that big faith or little faith? It's big faith on Sunday, but unfortunately, in most churches, it's big faith when we feel the presence of God. It's big faith when we're singing. It's big faith when we can all jump out of boats. But on Monday, when the storms of life begin to hit our lives and circumstances change, it's not so big faith.
That's right.
And Jesus said to him, "Oh, thou of little faith."